Hey everyone, it's Colin. I'm coming to you with deck profile for the November 15th ban list. This is the Pendulum deck, the Pendulum Performage deck. I think this is the best deck by far of the new format. I know I said that last time, but I'm sure of it with this deck. This deck is insane. And when the structure deck comes out, it's going to be even better. But yeah, let me just get into the deck. 3 Luster Pendulum. Obviously, this card's insane. 3 Plush Fire. Combos well with Luster Pendulum, obviously. 3 Mirror Conductor. This might not be standard, but I feel like in this deck, you obviously need to run this because you need a searchable low scale off of Damage Juggler. And with Luster Pendulum in your deck, you want to maximize the usage out of it. So since you're definitely playing this at all, I think it's correct to play 3 of it because you want to be, if you have Luster Pendulum, you want to be able to do it every turn if you can, destroy it to add another one. So you get a free monster every turn. So once you run a low scale, you want to max it. You want to max it out if you can Pendulum Summon it back. So since you're definitely running the first Mirror Conductor, I think it's just correct to max out on it. Also, just more Plush Fire targets. 3 Damage Juggler, Trick Clown, Hat Tricker. With King of the Feral Imps, I run a Parnaga and 2 Masked Chameleon. These are the only targets I run. Masked Chameleon's effect is irrelevant. Everyone running Painful Decision, like Painful Decision isn't bad because it makes Insuffusion live, but Masked Chameleon's effect has too many restrictions on it to ever use its effect. You just use it to Pendulum Summon it, and then Synchro for the stuff you need. A searchable tuner, that's all it's there for. But I think 2 of this is really good because you use the first one a lot to go into Omega. And so you need to be able to make, later, if you don't draw Wavering Eyes, you need to be able to have access to another tuner, because this doesn't go to your face of extract, it goes to your graveyard. So you need to be able to make another Feral Imp, search another Masked Chameleon to Pendulum Summon it, and then Synchro for Ignister to do that play. So it's important to have 2 of these. Also, if you open one, you can use Feral Imps to search the low scale. I don't run Lizard Draw, the high scale, I'll think King of the Feral Imps, because you always have, whatever you call it, Plush Fire or Luster Pendulum as a high scale, and so you just need low scales. My only low scales are this and Mirror Conductors. So there's almost never a time where you need to search a high scale off of King of the Feral Imps, or where it's optimal to have it in your deck. Like I'm sure like if you test there may be one time where it comes up, but the downside of having a deck is much larger because if your deck's functioning, you already have a high scale. Zephyro is just another way to get a tuner. If you, with Mathematician and Foolish Burial, if you already have access to Damage Juggler, this is a way to bounce your Luster Pendulum, so then you can then normal summon it after you Pendulum, and then make Ignister, just so another way if you don't have access to a tuner. Also just allows to make plays like King of the Feral Imps or Diamond Direwolf before you Pendulum Summon, which is extremely relevant in this deck. Then Mathematician for Damage Juggler and Zephyros, and then 2 Gemini Garmanet, because Brilliant Fusion is literally just Foolish Burial plus 2 normal summons, which is just the most insane thing ever. And Foolish Burial is Damage Juggler, which is all of these guys. So like you always want to have access to Damage Juggler because then it lets you get whatever you need, like the missing puzzle piece in your hand. So it's just important to have access to that. And then I play 3 Upstart Goblin, 3 Brilliant Fusion. Like I said, this card's insane. 3 Wavering Eyes, 3 Wonder Wand. This card's really, really good because it's good with your bad hands and your good hands. If you have a bad hand, this normally unbricks it, and if you have a good hand, it just makes it completely insane and be able to do a lot more things in your one turn. You have 12 targets essentially because you have Foolish, you have 3 Brilliant Fusion, you have 3 Damage Juggler, you have Hat Tricker, you have Trick Clown, and then you have Luster Pendulum plus Plush Fire is about the same percentage to open with as a 1-of, and so is the combination of Wavering Eyes plus Plush Fire, so those are 2 1-ofs, so that's like 12, essentially 12 cards you can open with to make this live turn 1, which is like 90-something% of all hands, so it's almost always going to be live. And it just unbricks your hand or just makes your hand better. Like it's never win more, and it's never like, oh, this made my hand suck. So like that's why this card is great. 2 Instant Fusion, obviously. I just never want to open 2, especially going first, because this deck's already bad enough going first. If you open 2, you just kind of lose. Then Foolish, and then the only protection cards I run are 3 Maxi and Emptiness. I'm going to talk about these together because I don't run warning and stuff, because decks that are good enough, like this deck, can normally make Diamond Direwolf to pop your one set before they do stuff. And just one trap, just like Solemn Warning, stopping one thing, isn't really enough. Like, I know it stops Pendulum Summons, but you need something that stops your opponent's entire turn. And if you just have Solemn Warning that stops one thing, and they like normally force it upon you to do it like on the Direwolf or whatever first, and then you can't, and then you just like they just continue on their business. You need these cards all stop your opponent, or just like completely. Like Emptiness is obviously amazing because it stops them completely forever, and then Maxi is good because it also, while making your opponent stop, it gives you cards, and this is a very combo-centric deck, so you never want to trade one for one. You always want to both give each other cards, because you want access to the most card possible, so you can play Yu-Gi-Oh! Really well, because the more cards this deck has, the better. So, even though it doesn't take away from your opponent's cards, it gives you cards and makes them stop, which is really important for a deck like this. Extra deck, 2 Ignisters, 2 Omega. This card's insane. Like, just completely insane. I don't think the deck would be that good without it, actually. This card's just unreal. 2 Kings of Fairlands. I explained this with the 2 Masked Chameleons. Emerald, Castel, Direwolf, Dweller, Trapeze Magician. This card's actually insane against Cosmo, and like any deck that can kill you turn 1, you make it. I just say Cosmo because the only real threat from that deck is them actually just killing you in 1 turn. And because you can just Ignister back their big guys if they don't kill you. So, this can get out Trick Clown. Trick Clown can get back this. This can get Plush Fire, and Plush Fire can get Damage Juggler. So at the end of it, you have Damage Juggler, and they did like no damage to you. So that's just a really good card to make turn 1 if you don't really have anything to do. It's actually just, and then it also helps you kill them a lot. This is for Performage because they have a searchable and resummonable Heavy Storm, and you're playing a Pendulum deck, so you kind of need this to stop them from doing that. Performage is a really bad matchup. 2 Seraphinite for Brilliant Fusion, 2 Norden for Instant Fusion. My side deck is 3 Denko. This card is insane. You always want to open with this card going second against any back row deck. You literally just win. Like, I can't even explain it. This deck doesn't need its normal summon. So just drawing this is fine because it never hinders with your plays. 3 Storm. You can pop Brilliant Fusion and then your Pendulum cards like Plush Fire and stuff, and then Pendulum some of them back. So this card is just really, really good against all the back row decks. Like, these are really good against Magispector especially. But yeah, any deck that plays spells and traps. 2 Dark Lord and Raigeki for mainly Infernoid to pop their big guys, also like, Dark Law and stuff like that. Any problematic monsters, going second. I don't side this in really against like Cosmo or the Mirror or something, because your deck's already good enough going second. You can deal with their monsters with your monsters. You just need this. If they're monsters, you can't deal with your monsters. You can't deal with their monsters using your monsters, like say because Dark Law stops Pendulum summoning, because they get banished instead of going to the extra deck, so stuff like that. And Performage and Cosmo. And then going first in the Mirror, I side triple anti-spell, because your deck is really, really bad going first. So this makes it so your deck's actually insane going first. You open it, you set up your Pendulum Scales, you flip it on their turn. They can't do anything, they have to set everything, and then you just kill them on your following turn. Like, it's not even fair. And then going second, you just don't side this card in the Mirror, because your deck's better going second, because that's just how Yu-Gi-Oh! Is nowadays. So yep, I think this deck's really good. If you have any questions about my build or anything, just let me know. Thanks. Bye.